The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. I'm Nikki Glaser. I'm in St. Louis. Welcome to a very special episode of the Nikki Glaser Podcast. It's an all sunglasses episode.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's wearing sunglasses.
We are cool as shit.
Yeah, it started slow. This wasn't planned. The podcast is delayed today because Noah and Brian both went out to their car to get the sunglasses
Yeah, that's right. Keep 'em.
to fit the theme that we came up with. Really
Dedication.
It's almost like Halloween, you know, or it's Halloween's coming up soon. Now we're all in costume.
It does feel like there's a different vibe. And with sunglasses on, I feel so protected. I feel so cool. I feel cool, like almost to the level of smoking a cigarette cool because of how much it elevates your coolness instantly, just visually. Mm-hmm. So I feel cool. And I also feel like protected and people like don't want to bother me. So I feel like a little bit introverted, like I can exist. It feels good, but it's weird to do when you're broadcasting. It's like you're... Well, it's Jenny McCarthy does it because she just doesn't want people to look at her aging eyes, and it's
that
brilliant.
is a good trick. Oh, really?
Because that's the first thing that goes. It's so smart.
Yeah, you look like.
But she looks cool.
You look like John.
Like
Mulaney. You look like John Mulaney on Seth Meyers during that interview where he wears sunglasses, and you're like, something's going on.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, possibly hiding is you look like you might be hiding a problem that you're dealing with.
Yeah,
because the eyes tell all. You know,
they really do.
I was doing I'm doing a bit about that. Like older women, I used to think that things that are stylish for older women, I used to think are just like, those older women are just stylish, but it's really, they're just doing things to conceal their age. Like I thought turtlenecks were just meant that you like read a lot of books. Like you were just like, Diane Keaton just looks smart because she wears turtlenecks, but she's smart because she's covering up her neck, which is the part that people don't want to see anymore.
Nothing hides your age more than a coffin.
But I love that we're taking it back though. Like mom jeans were definitely started to hide the mom belly a little, and now
they're back.
The youth is like appropriating, which I love.
On the plane yesterday, I saw she was like, I don't know, 17 years old wearing, or let's say 18 years old wearing mom jeans. Like it's really young.
But what is a mom jean anymore? Because I just was doing some denim shopping. I bought like so many jeans that are coming my way. And I just went crazy. Anya and I were just talking before the podcast about how we are shopping to make ourselves happier. It's working.
I woke up today. I was like, today's a day I need to buy a ton of shit that I'll regret, but it's going to fill the deep void inside me in a big way.
It reminds me of the Amy Schumer sketch called like New Body, and she goes to shop and Jessie Klein is working at this really high-end boutique and she's like, let's buy some clothes for your new body. And she's like, I think my new body is going to be a size 2. And she's like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to see your new body. And so Amy like puts on a pair of jeans and it's just on her, like she can only fit like up to her ankle, like into these jeans. And Jessie Klein is like, they're amazing. It's so funny. But that's how I've been shopping. I've been like working out more. So I'm like, oh my God, I've got to buy some clothes for my new body.
That's like vacation self. I'm always like, I'm going to read these 4 books on this week-long vacation, and I don't crack one of them.
I brought 2 with me this weekend on the road. 2 books. Ambitious. I never even crack one. And if I do, it's on my phone. But 2 hard shell books.
You bring one and you think, well, I'm probably going to finish this one. And then I want to be stuck without a book. So you bring the second one. Is that what your plan was?
It was just like I wanted variety. It's like when I overpack clothes. Like I want to decide. And you know what? I took a picture of, because I wanted to promote Gary Goldman's book called, what's it called? It's so good. Obviously it's not, because it's not catchy enough for me. Misfit. But I like the title of it because the I is kind of slightly askew. Like it doesn't fit in with the rest of the letters. And I thought that's very clever. Anyway, it's really good. But I'm reading that and I wanted to promote it. And then I also had the fucking 4 plans, whatever it's called. Yes, the 4 agreements. I'm crawling through that because I really wanted to absorb in my soul. I'm like trying to read it very slowly. Yeah. If I miss a sentence, if I'm daydreaming, I gotta go back. Like I'm trying to Gary's I could daydream through, even though you actually can't because it is so. Like he's such a good writer. I have to like constantly look up words, which I kind of love because I'm like, I should know this word. He's an intelligent person. And the way he just paints a picture with the way he talks and writes, he's just so good. And it's also cool. Like I was writing to him saying, it's so fun. Like I get to spend this like very intimate weekend with my friend and like get to know my friend on a level that like I would never, or, it might take many dinners because it's like books are more like honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes than because Yeah, than with your actual friends. So it's really nice to have his like just listening to my friend's life story is like awesome. But then I paired it with the 4 agreements, and I feel like Gary is kind of about that life, and so it's like injecting that in a nonfiction. I mean, both are nonfiction, but it's just But anyway, I posted a picture of Gary's book, and then I was like, oh, these pair well together, and I was like almost like a wine with something.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they actually do. So I not only did I bring 2 books ambitiously, I read both of them extensively, and I went back and forth. Like it was like a whole. I think I came up with a new thing that works for me.
Yeah,
is to bring variety.
Sure,
and then go back and forth.
So you
because
brought
then I'm
the
not
books
stuck.
and you read the books.
I read both of the books and made hard dents in both of them.
That's impressive.
Bitch, you are killing it.
I feel
you
alive.
are your dream self. You
That
are
is like
your
a
future body.
That's so true. I almost bought a shirt today that said weird on it.
Oh.
Like a tank top. It just says weird, but it was like kind of cool font.
Yeah.
And I thought like it's kind of keh. Because saying like I am weird is like keh. But I kind of like it because weird is my biggest fear. Like I don't like being weird. Obviously, I'm always like, why am I not like other people? Like that's my like baseline shame.
Yeah, but
like I feel like wearing a shirt that says it would be like owning it, kind of.
Weird has
like my
been
biggest fear.
co-opted by
keh.
people who are not fun. Like people say like, oh, keep Portland weird. And all it means is that you wear like sandals with socks.
Can I change? Can I take back the word weird?
Yeah.
Because you're right. Weird is just quirky or autistic.
Yeah.
But I like autistic is kind of what I mean by that. I think autistic people are weird. And don't quote me on that.
You know when you go to like
I mean that in the best way. Like odd.
BrainyQuotes.com and it just says all of your most famous quotes. And even me, if you search for me, there's like some stupid quote, but that could be a great one to have on there.
Oh, really? Oh my God. Please don't add that to it.
Let me see, Brian.
I've never checked that. Is that like it's WikiFeet for dumb shit you said?
No, it's not dumb shit.
It's like a rating site that people
it's
like
basically like an
stuff?
AI aggregator has found quotes that you made probably in articles.
Oh, fuck.
And it
Dear
says
God.
like what? Let's see what happens when you search Nikki Glaser.
I'm very scared of this. I actually am very uncomfortable, but I'm allowing it to happen because it's good radio.
The Glaser comedy writer was interesting. Weren't you like joking about pylons? You're like, give me a break. If pylons were in my future, I would be a swerving garbage man.
Wait, what are you talking about? I don't follow this at all.
Remember when Brian was like, write a joke in the style of Nikki Glaser?
Oh, okay, yes. It was talking about
cones.
God, it was
road cones.
Yeah, traffic cones. The Kardashians are like traffic cones. They're orange, they're in the way, and I can't get to work on time. And it was like, it's almost there. It was so close. You go, oh, okay, it might take my job. And then the last one, you just go, no, you lost it.
So these are Nikki Glaser quotes from Brainy Quote, which these are things that you have said at some point, most likely in an article, but some of them
littered with likes and ums.
They might be also from your stand-up, so it's hard to say.
Okay, I probably won't be able to say.
So some of them are
it's like
some of them are very innocuous. Like I like putting myself in uncomfortable situations. Nikki Glaser. So you've probably said that.
Okay.
Or I like guys with a sense of humor who smile a lot and are kind. Nikki Glaser. Do you remember saying that?
That's great.
Yeah, that's submitted for my gravestone, actually. I don't know how they got that because those are the words I want to be left on this earth having said, is that I like men who smile and have kind eyes. What is it again? Say it again.
Nikki's epitaph.
What a worthless thing.
I like guys with a sense of humor who are smile a lot and are kind.
Who are smile a lot?
ChatGPT.
I bet I did say that. I bet I was like, I like guys with a sense of humor who are smile a lot. You know, like I probably said it like that, and it's misquoted. And now I sound like an idiot, but I stand by that. I think guys need to smile more, and I think that's a good good piece of wisdom for the incel community to learn how to find a woman. Just smile more, guys.
Oh, there's actually a whole image with this one, like it's a meme. There's actually this is a Nikki Glaser quote. There's actually a thing called WikiFeet. That's the Wikipedia of celebrity girls' feet. So how profound. Now, also, I feel like you just said that 5 seconds ago.
I did, and I don't talk about WikiFeet that much. I don't think
it's being updated now.
But I like that. Please update it, because all I was doing in that is giving information that is already. That literally says nothing.
It's probably from when we were talking about it on this show.
But there's no, I have no editorialization of it. There's no opinion about it. I'm just stating that it exists.
Google.com is a search engine. If you type in Google,
so many jokes, and that is what they put is me just explaining the existence of WikiFeet.
Okay, yes, that's what's on here. Well, you have like hundreds of quotes. Here's another one.
Are you picking purposefully awful ones?
No, that one had a whole image associated with it. It's the only one that's been highlighted with like a meme-like image.
You have to think that a bot made that because who would think that's profound enough for like a faded image of me? Like that like a mimeograph of me. No. Okay, go on. What's the next one?
The more you work in this business as a comedian, the closer you get to just being yourself on stage, on camera, the more well-received you are. So
what? Oh my God. Not to interrupt at all, but I'm interrupting. I found a file on my phone called Nikkiisms. So this is the next best thing.
Yeah, can we add these to that? Because these are funnier.
I'll read you like my
that's
top
made by
5.
a bot. Wait, can I just say, Brian, those are bots, right?
These are things you have said, and the bots have clipped them.
I get it, but like, why is there no correction of my grammar?
I got one more.
Okay, one more, and then we have to get to real ones.
This is one of your top quotes. I think this says more about you than any quote I've ever read.
This is why we won't be replaced by bots. Okay, what?
Rob Thomas loves nothing more than for couples to go on dates. And he loves chocolates. Boxes
this is not true.
of 20 chocolates. Nikki Glaser.
Okay, I did say that. Okay, you want to know why I said that? Because we had a segment on some show I did. I think it was Nikki and Sarah Live, where Valentine's Day, Rob Thomas's birthday is February 14th. So we were like, that's why it got that name. And we were like, because some things, that's why we celebrate Rob Thomas's birthday and by giving chocolates because he loves chocolates. Like that's from a bit. I didn't write that bit. I probably said those words on TV, but again, take it out of context. But yeah, I think we tried to get a movement of saying, happy Rob Thomas's birthday. Instead, if like you don't have a partner, don't look at it like Valentine's Day. Just be like, happy Rob Thomas's birthday.
Yes.
So that's where it comes from. Okay, what's the real Nikkiisms?
Okay, non sequitur Nikkiism. I hate Julia Fox's stomach so much.
Oh no. Oh no.
I love that one because it's so relatable.
I feel bad about that one. Let me say I was in a dark place when I say that because I'm kind of obsessed with her now because I did just read a New Yorker. I think it's the New Yorker did a piece on her. And she just wrote a book and I can't wait to read it. And I think she is so fascinating. And talk about someone who's weird and just like owns it. I am obsessed with her and I take back that quote. I like love her stomach because I think one day I was just like triggered by it because it was too thin. And I was just like, God, I want my stomach to look like that. So I think that's why I said that. But like, honestly, I think she's awesome. Like, have you read any of the stuff that I'm so intrigued by her, and I would like to be friends with her. I think so. I feel bad about saying that, but it was only because
I turned around
she was
her whole image. Yeah, this was ages ago during like Uncut Jam.
What she was doing was trying to fuck. She did the same thing that Sinead O'Connor did, which was like, if you're gonna sexualize me, I'm gonna like repulse you. Like you don't like that I'm getting too thin, so I'm gonna get really thin because you hate it. Now I'm gonna get really fat because you just seem to hate it. Like she wanted to reject what people wanted from her. If a guy was turned on by something, she would do the opposite. And that's what led her to like lose a bunch of weight. I read this whole thing. So now love her.
Oh, we're standing.
Yeah. So what's my next one?
You wrote me this one time when I said, how are you? You texted me. I'm at a cemetery trying to cry.
When was that, I wonder?
That's my favorite. I think I have a screenshot of it. It's so good.
Okay, let me predict what the day was, okay?
You were in New Orleans or something.
No, I was totally in the Cayman Islands. I think I went there a lot. I was trying to like release emotions and I would go on these runs and I would go to these like really cool cemeteries and I would sit there and like look at the sunset and try to be like, come on, cry, bitch. And I couldn't get there.
Damn. It's so good to cry. Man, it just cures what ails you for about a couple hours. Then it comes back.
I'm not comfortable during it. It's like it does feel good at the end of it, but during it, I never really feel like I'm like, I'm just leaning into this, and I feel comfortable crying. I guess is the point. I can do it, but the whole time I'm like, this is a nuisance to my life, and I know like this is gonna feel stupid afterwards. It's like an orgasm. You just are like, oh, that was embarrassing. Like the faces I just made, the sounds I just made, but you're like, I feel better, but like,
even when you're not in public,
record of that, huh?
Even when you're not in public, if you're just crying in your room alone. into a pillow?
Then that starts to get me, and I've talked about this before. I just start to feel like, oh, are you sad? Oh, is someone so sad for themselves and being a widow? Are you filming a scene on Dawson's Creek? Did Dawson just break up? I always feel like I'm just it feels performative.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Wow.
I have like this guilt around it, even though I obviously know that it's not. But I cannot cry alone. I just have no interest in crying alone. I only cry when someone asks me about my life and I'm so worked up about it, I can't stop but like cry.
Like even though,
and then my therapist is always like, "What's coming up for you?" And I'm like, "Just let it. Don't call it out. I'm freaking like, just let me do it."
Oh, are you crying?
They run for the tissue box, and I'm like, "No, just like let me cry. Don't worry about sopping it up right now." You know what I mean?
It's like when you got to sneeze, you can't focus on it. You just got to let it go, or else as soon as you try to want to sneeze, it stops.
Yes, you can't chase it.
No, you can't chase the cry.
Yeah, I've been trying my Gooning trick again. Where you smile so you don't come, because I've been like, I just got back into masturbating after like
creepy
months. No, it's so creepy, dude.
Wait, alone or with someone?
Yeah, that's weird that I'm not embarrassed to cry, but easily I can go from being really turned on watching a porn video to like just smiling, like I'm in a picture for my 3rd grade class picture. Just like make your face smile, almost like just tighten your jaw to a smile. And then it'll stop whatever sexiness is going on for a second. It'll like halt it.
Oh yeah, comedy is the anti-sex for sure.
Yeah,
if you're having sex with somebody and you start laughing or something's funny, it's like game over.
That's so true.
It just changes the mood. You can giggle and stuff, and you can flirt and stuff like that. Like that's my new thing with Chris is that I've started just flirting with him. So I'll like throw a pillow on him and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, just flirting. And like, it's so fun to do because I'll just like annoy him and I'm like, I'm just trying to flirt with you. Like I'm trying to connect, but it'll be very annoying.
You drop a rock.
It's my new thing.
You have to spell it out.
Yeah. I'm like, but it makes it funny that for whatever reason, it allows us to flirt actually by saying like, I'm flirting right now because I'm too awkward at doing something that's like that. I just want to say what I'm doing.
Yes. I remember when I got home from Europe, I hadn't seen Matt for like 3 weeks because he was on tour. Then I was on tour.
Oh, it's so awkward and new.
We sucked for the literally 3 days of being home. We just kept going, "You're being weird."
Oh my God, you were flirty.
You're being weird. It was like borderline fight, but like kind of flirty. And I'm like, okay, we just have to stop this now. Like, what are we doing?
We just have to have sex is what we have to do. We have to have sex and just break this weird tension.
It's like dogs sniffing each other's buttholes. Like, are you the dog I've seen from around?
Yes. I don't have that with Chris anymore because I'm gone. It happens so much, but we used to have that lag of time because if we don't do it enough. But now that we do it all the time, it's like it's exciting though. It's nice to always kind of be. You get to see someone very frequently, but you're also missing them a lot.
Yeah.
It is really good for a relationship. I think.
Are you feeling
just
that now?
Times of missing. Yeah, I miss him right away when I like leave, and I'm like, man, it'd be fun to be on this plane with him because I just flew with him recently or whatever. And so I'll be like, oh, it was better with him, and like shoot him a text. But then I end up embracing being alone too. Like that's when I'm not masturbating if he's around. So I treat myself to that.
Smiling.
Yeah, I'm gooning. But yeah, I'm smiling the whole time, so no one knows. That's
so
really.
Have you ever seen Nikki smiling in an airport under a blanket?
Don't lean in for a selfie.
One last quote before we go to break.
Please.
Great quote to end it.
I can't wait to learn from this the wisdom
applicable
that I've bestowed upon people. Yeah,
I never feel guilty or anything after a podcast. I feel better. Nikki Glaser.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. No, that's never is not the truth. There's been many times where I feel guilty because it wasn't good. But I think in what I was saying in that podcast was that I never feel guilty about something I've said. And that's also not true, but I don't panic. I just take care of it and say like, hey, can you take that thing out? Or I let it sit until I I go, you know what? If this is a problem enough that you should feel guilty about it, you should remember it later. Like if you forget,
right,
then it's probably not that big of a deal.
Right.
So they take out. Yeah. And sometimes instantly it's like easy to make that call. But I'm like, if it really weighs on my conscience, I always struggle with that word. I always want to say conscious. If it's weighing on it, then I think it'll naturally, I'll remember it. Do you think that's a good system? Or do you think you should
the
just
opposite is true of jokes. Like if I remember, if I don't want to write down a joke, And I'm like, if it's really funny, I'll remember it. And then it's like, oh, fuck, that was funny. And I forgot it.
Yeah, that's where that's why I asked if you think that works, because I think maybe it does the same thing as the joke thing, where you will, unless you write it down, you will forget it.
Oh my God.
Forever.
Yes.
Unless it's negative and traumatic.
I have to just
my
let
memory
it go.
does not.
Yeah,
remember.
that's so true.
It's like, this isn't important. Oh, someone hates you. Remember that forever.
No, it's easy to remember what berries to eat and what ones taste good. That's not like a thing. Like, that's why our evolution remembers things that are harmful. It's like, gotta remember not to get diarrhea from eating that berry. So like, remember bad
berry
stuff.
Really got me.
But good berries, like, yeah, they can kind of if you don't remember it, then it's probably safe or whatever. Or you haven't gotten diarrhea until you died from it yet. All right, let's go take a break, and we'll be back with more after this. All right, we're back. I'm going to New York today in like an hour. I think less than an hour. My car is coming to do a fuck ton of press. I'm gearing up for FBoy Island. It's coming out October 16th, Monday on the CW. And so the hardest thing about making a show is, I think, the press, or like the least fun part.
Is it part of your contract?
Actually, it's fun.
Do you have to do it, or you choose to do it?
No, I choose to do it. I mean, I think it is part of your contract that you'll do something, but I do everything because I just want the show isn't. If it were my show, I could pick and choose, and it is my show. I'm an EP on it, but I really want it to succeed.
Yeah,
and so I can't turn down something thinking, oh, that could have been one house with a Nielsen box listening to that dumb show I did. Like, that would kill me that we don't get the rating that we deserve because ratings are so stupid. So you just got to cast a wide net and get the word out as much as you can. I'm going to be exhausted. What are the
questions you wish people would ask you? I'm just projecting that you're dreading this because the questions are probably all the same.
I think I honestly don't. I did some prep calls today because I'm doing Sherry Shepherd's show tomorrow.
I love
Sherry Shepherd's show
when
tomorrow.
This airs, it will have happened already, but it's available online.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It already happened, guys. It was yesterday's, but it's online. And that was a really fun one because...
How did you feel about it yesterday?
I think it went so great. Sherry's so fun.
You know her from
I looked
the past,
great. I don't know why
right?
I'm
Like,
wearing
did
it.
you work with her?
Yeah, I met her on...
She was on You Up, the radio show.
To Tell the Truth?
Yeah,
okay, yes. But she was also on To Tell the Truth, and that's where I got to know her. And she just confided in me right away about some like personal shit. And I don't even really remember what it was about, but I remember thinking, because it's not my secret. Like, it felt like she was like confiding me. I'm glad I forgot it because I probably shouldn't have known it. And she was probably just going through something and like oversharing. That's how like much I wasn't like, yes, I have this information. But I remember her sharing something with me that I was like, wow, she really trusts me. And she should, because my memory's shit. And no, but I was like, oh, that's really nice. And so I'm looking forward to seeing her again. And I am a huge fan of hers from 30 Rock.
Yeah.
She played Tracy Morgan's wife, and it's one of like the best actor, like funny characters ever. And she's so good in it. And
I love that they were always fucking in the show. They were always like about to
seductive and cool. She's just cool. I love her. So I'm excited to do that show. And it'll be easy. And then, so yeah, I had a call with the producer, and she just sent me ahead of time a bunch of questions. And then I just like filled them out like on my laptop this morning, getting Starbucks. And then I sent them to her, and she looked through them and was like, oh my God, this is great. Thank you so much. I pretty much just like did a transcript of like the jokes I would say and like the stories I would tell. So really, that's what I would want from producers. If there are any producers listening that are producing a segment for me soon, first of all, thank you for listening to this podcast, because that means you're doing research and you're going the extra mile, which is anal. Did we cover that yesterday?
Nikki loves. It's on that website Brian was reading from.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, I just what you should do is you should send me questions that you think I would want to talk about, and then I'll go through them and go yeah, no, and whatever. And then a good comic will generally like just work in their jokes, but I want give me something to start with. I like when they do that. Mm-hmm. So that was very nice. And then I'm doing the Today Show. I had a great call with that guy. He did a ton of research, and we just talked on the phone and did an interview. He didn't like send me questions, and that went great. And I'm doing the Today Show on Thursday, and then I just got booked on the Kelly Clarkson show for Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Nice.
Damn.
No, it's this Wednesday. No, I thought it was next Wednesday. I told it was next Wednesday, but it's today. It already happened today. Sorry, guys. So
watch online,
it.
People should look for.
I also killed it on
Sherry
there.
Shepherd.
She's in New York.
Today's show, because by the time this podcast is out, you would have already appeared that morning.
No, today's show.
It's Thursday.
It's this tomorrow morning. It's Thursday morning.
Yeah, but by the time people listen to this, it'll probably have aired.
Oh yeah, you guys have missed everything I did by the time this came out. We really blew it. And you know what? A lot of these shows I didn't get booked on until the last second. I'm going to manifest that I'm doing Fallon on Friday. That just came up. I'm going to manifest that.
All right.
I just think I'm in town. I'm free that night. Putting it out there, Jimmy. I know he's a bestie.
Law of attraction. He's a big bestie.
Yeah. Stranger things have happened. But yeah, actually, I would not. Please don't book me on that. I need a night off. I really do. Because I would do it. That's the thing. I will say yes to everything. And so I'm doing a bunch of podcasts.
Psychology it. But I'm by saying, please don't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Who knows what I really want?
So then do it.
Whatever happens, happens.
No,
I will say yes to whatever.
Get on Fallon will be good.
Yeah, Fallon's going to go great. Yeah. And you guys can catch that one tomorrow, Friday, if this manifestation works.
Yeah.
I'm manifesting you guys sing something together because you're both so musical.
I'm a little stressed out by that because I have to write it. Like they write great over there, but I would feel like, I want to collab with, and I just don't have time. I'm stressed out by the segment already. And I can't prepare in time.
Okay, and then
they want Taylor and you to do something.
Next week, we're going to have one episode. We should let besties know.
That's
because
true.
Nikki's
one episode next week.
And you're doing more press, I think.
Yeah, in LA. And I'm going to be on The Talk in LA. You can get that one. That's next week in LA. And then there's some other show. I'm going to, on KTLA. Yeah. And I'm doing a bunch of podcasts. I'm going to be on Bert Kreischer's wife's podcast. I'm going to be on Guys We Fucked. The KFC Radio, and then like a bunch of others that I can't remember the names of right now. Nick Vile's podcast. We're going to talk about The Golden Bachelor.
Cool.
Oh my God, I got to catch up. And you have to catch up on BECKHAM. It's so good.
Oh yeah, I want to watch that. You love it?
I've done a total 180. I was bashing it and I was only 20 minutes in, and now I'm so deep. I think I am going to start watching soccer.
Wow.
They're just so good. The BECKHAMs are so funny and watchable and sweet and cute. And he's such a good person. And there's a lot to learn for anybody who wants to be excellent in any. Like you love the Michael Jordan documentary.
I love excellence, and I love watching sports documentaries because of that excellence. So I'm going to love this. I'm going to watch it by myself. I think I can't wait for Chris because I think this is something I want to watch ASAP.
But Chris probably will be like, "Oh, it's done in the Errol Morris style of sports docs," or because Fisher Stevens from Succession directs it, and it's so good.
I love him. Oh my God!
So the people are watching clips of themselves, but it's like the camera is in the thing that they're watching, and and it's so moving. So it's like I'm taking my sunglasses off. BECKHAM's watching himself do something so important from his youth that was like a pivotal traumatic moment, and they catch like the tears welling up.
Oh my God, that's like when my quotes were read to me just now. That's exactly how that felt. I was watching tape of my greatest moments
on the video, except for wearing sunglasses.
That was the top 10.
Oh yeah, you could have seen the tears in my eyes. But you guys know I don't do that.
Did you watch Welcome to Wrexham? The Ryan Reynolds and... Well, it's like a similar, what you were just describing, they do that similarly where it's like, it's about soccer too. It's about the soccer team that they bought. And
I'd be into that. Ryan Reynolds is too charming. Like I just start to get like jealous that he exists. Yeah. Like he's so handsome and funny. And I start like, I should maybe just like have a little crush test watching that because I like both those. Like they're just so funny, but they're like also like, I just don't know if it's for me. They're just too. There's something that I can't watch because I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Of like I'm jealous of their lives.
Yeah. Although I will say, envious of two dudes.
Rob
McElhenny.
McElhenny. Thank you. Oh fuck, that is so embarrassing. I love him so much, but I've never said his name out loud. I don't think ever. But that doesn't mean I
don't even say it in my head. When I'm reading his name on a thing, I just skip his last name.
I skip it. Rob, if you ever see this, I'm so embarrassed because I am Always Sunny is one of the funniest shows that has ever been. Yeah. Without question.
I hope it makes it to the longest of all time.
It's It's it could, right?
Yeah,
it just has to beat out The Simpsons.
Well, that would include. But I mean, for live action animation. Though. Yeah, I think
is it Bonanza?
I thought it was MASH, or something. Let me look it up.
Okay,
I think
that makes sense. Yeah, please. It's so good, man. I discovered Always Sunny. I'll never forget. It was like there's certain things where you discover them and you were like, oh my God, this is gonna be my thing. You know, I've had that in my life with Conan, with Seinfeld, with Friends, with Jennifer Aniston, with Dave Matthews Band, with Taylor Swift, with Wilco, and with Always Sunny. And I will add Veep to that. I will add Succession. Like they become my thing. But Always Sunny is so tried and true. It's one of my favorite things that's ever been. But anyway, I only say this all, and the reason that it's so weird that I forgot how to say his last name, and I wouldn't even try to say it now because I'm scared. But I love him so much. But he reached out to me. His compliment, he tweeted at me when I did the roast of Alec Baldwin. It had come out, but it like months later, it like went a little like it had like a moment, and he saw it and tweeted how brilliant it was. And that tweet meant as much to me as like when Taylor Swift wrote to me. Mm-hmm. I only read it once. I couldn't look at it again. God. I was like, like breathless that someone I admire so much who invented my favorite show, like something I did and called me like, it said brilliant or something. It said genius or something like, I don't remember it exactly. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but it said something very, very nice that I couldn't even handle. So anyway, someone wrote me and said, can I give Rob your number? And I'm like, yes. He wants to talk to you about something. I'm like, fuck. Can you
imagine?
Yeah.
No.
I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And this is recent. So the tweet thing was in like 2018, 19, something like that. And then nothing. And then this was less than a month ago. And I'm like, yes, please. And I'm like awaiting, like, what is he going to ask me? And he asked me if he could give my number to his friend because they wanted to book me. He wanted to book me at his country club.
Oh my God. I was like, that's your
which is great
now.
No, I loved it. But he said other stuff in the message that was really nice and like congratulating me on my career, and then also saying like how he admires like sobriety talks that I say and stuff. So it was just like really a nice message through and through, and I wasn't able to do the gig, but I would have done that gladly. I mean, actually was an incredible opportunity, but it was just so nice, and I just love him so much. So I forget what we were talking about. Always Sunny. Why we got on this subject?
Refuse to watch his show with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, back to that. So also, Rob, if you're still listening, I won't watch your show now because I am so jealous of how brilliant you are. And now you're friends with Ryan Reynolds. It's too much. And I can't. And you like, I am jealous because I wish I could invest in things that cool. Like it like makes. I'm financially very like insecure about what I do with my money and how I best do it. And it's a dumb insecurity because I don't like educate myself to do better at it, but I'm always constantly ashamed that I could be doing cool things. And I think investing in a soccer team and having it pay off so much really irritates me because I'm jealous. So I don't want to watch it, even though I can learn from it. Like that's why I couldn't watch the Beckham thing. I was having a weekend where I was feeling like really fat and like just out of control in my body. And I was like, I don't want to watch Victoria Beckham be tiny. I just like can't take it as much as this interests me. But today I'm having a good body day. My new body's on its way. I just got shipping confirmation.
Most arrived.
Wow. So I'm ready to let her body into my life. Otherwise, I just know what's going to make me not feel good and like compare and despair. And sometimes I have to avoid it. So Rob, that's why.
Here's what's going to sell it for you. She is the honest one in the relate. Well, no. They both call each other on their shit, and you like that about people.
I've seen that clip. We've all seen the clip.
Yeah.
There's another part too where she's very open about stuff that he's not as open about, and she just like kind of roasts him, and it's fun. And you'll appreciate his excellence, his dedication, his determination, and how he got so good because you're fascinated by that.
I heard there's a whole story about how they used to spit on him when he lost a championship or something, and how he was like, that's disgusting. And like going through that is horrible, but he is like a billionaire now. So I think it's like, it was worth it. Not that he should ever have been spat on, but I just heard that of like, it's disgusting what people did to him. And I'm like, but would you do that for $1 billion?
I mean,
would you have people spit on you in the street? I would
100%. I'd get spit on.
Not that he ever deserves it. And it is disgusting. I'm not condoning it.
For $1 billion for sure.
Yeah. Isn't he probably a billionaire?
I don't know, but It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I want to confirm, is currently the longest running live action sitcom in the United States.
Congratulations.
Yes.
We're announcing it here.
They have beaten, do you want to guess? You don't even know what this show is probably.
Bonanza?
They have beaten ABC's The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet.
Oh.
No. I mean, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So they've won already. They're not the longest running show of all time. They're the longest running live action American sitcom.
Live action.
I wish I could do the I worked so hard at one point during the pandemic to do a voiceover, not voiceover, but what's it called when you lip sync for Charlie Dayman. But it was like
looping.
when he's first No, it's not Dayman. It is the scene where they are starting a band and Charlie can't read, and so he just draws shapes on this keyboard. And or like not on the keyboard, but on the paper. There's just all these shapes, and then he riffs it. And at one point, Rob almost starts laughing during it because it's the funny thing. I remember seeing that scene, and he's like trying to be Bob Dylan too. And I'm trying to think of
because
what the lyrics
they were so poor that they couldn't afford a piano, right?
Yeah, no, he can't play piano, but he can. Actually, Charlie can play piano. He's like kind of a savant. And he's good at singing, but his lyrics make no sense and they're weird, and they get a little homoerotic and everyone gets uncomfortable. And it's the funniest scene I've ever seen. I think it's up there. It would make my top 3 scenes ever of funny.
Matt's favorite is the song about like the boy's soul. Like you have to put it in the hole or something.
Yes,
the boy's
that's
hole.
great too. That's all the Dayman musical, and that's so you gotta pay the toll troll if you want to get the boy's hole.
Yes.
The boy's soul. And they're like, it's the boy's soul.
It's like the boy's hole.
But I want to do the Charlie rap and see if I can remember.
Is it the go fuck yourself?
It's a talent I have. No, it's let me find it because it's really good, and I think it'll maybe.
For those of you wondering,
it'll
David
make people
Beckham,
go with it.
David Beckham does not have $1 billion. He's got currently estimated at $514 million, which is just nothing close to $1 billion.
Oh, so he's a poor.
He's so poor. He's one of those poor.
That's cool. A callback. That's a ham drip for the secret episode that's coming up. Okay, Charlie's song. Oh, it's already out?
Yeah.
Everything's out. No, God damn it. Sherry, you can watch it with Sherry Shepard. You can go listen if you join the Diamond Players. You can listen to our
Intrusive Thoughts.
What's it called?
Intrusive
Thoughts episode where we get real. I'm trying to find it. But anyway, that's a scene that I just remember being like, oh, here it is. No, it's not that.
I guess we're going to cut this out. So I was going to vamp, but instead we can just cut it out.
Vamp. You can vamp.
Vamp? Well, I was just going to say things
I love a vamp.
Now this is me vamping. Things that I memorized when I was younger I memorized there was
I love it.
There was a Beastie Boys song called Paul Revere where I memorized all the lyrics to that, and I would do that all the time. I don't think I can remember the whole thing now,
That's
but
what
I
you
remember
look
being
like
very
today.
proud of myself.
You look like a Beastie Boy.
You do look like Paul
Beastie.
Oh, I was going to say Paul Revere.
Wrong hat.
Yeah, you do look like a Beastie Boy. We were talking before the show about how Brian went to go get his sunglasses and he put up the hood. He has an FBoy Island hat that comes out October 16th on the CW.
That's right.
And you just look cool. And we're all like kind of intimidated by you today. There's like a different vibe.
Yeah.
I was so in love with Sinead O'Connor in college that I memorized the Gaelic at the beginning of one of her songs. It was a poem or a psalm that Anya recited. Orach sior de dain gon et a hiu to a hosan de tochrichi goyer amprashat hulan and wawa.
Oh my God, it's not even musical.
That sounds like a witch's curse.
It's
whoa. That's like when I memorized Dave Speak back in 1999. It was actually exactly like the quotes that I was saying. It would just be dumb shit he had said in between songs, and they were like written like Dave Gospel, and it was called Dave Speak within the community of Dave Matthews Band fans. What he said in between songs was Dave Speak, and I memorized one. It was like, "How y'all feeling tonight?" That one was a good one.
Wow.
He had another profound one that was like, "Smells good out there this evening, Charlotte." So that was that's a classic, and I'll never forget that one. No, it was always so fun when Dave Matthews would say the name of your city and acknowledge that he smelled a little weed going around. It was like, Dave smells weed. Cool. He gets it. We love it. Okay, so yeah, I sent you the Charlie video.
Is this a page from a color?
Let's just rock.
No,
so
dude, that's Nightman. Those are
Charlie's
lyrics.
like showed up with these lyrics, and they're just playing the song out of nowhere.
All right. Where's my curtain?
He wants to sing behind a curtain because he is scared. He has stage fright. He's like, I need a curtain. And he's like, where's my curtain? They're like, they don't have one.
5, 6, 7, 8. Nightman! Sneaky and mean!
Spider and sand, my dreams, I think I love you. It make me wanna cry, you make me wanna die. Oh, I love you, 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 Nightman.
Every night you come into my room and pin me down with your strong arms and pin me down, and I try to fight you. You come inside me.
Charlie, hold on a second. I mean, the first half of that song was kind of cool, but what's with the second half?
It's about the Nightman, like, you know, like filling
I like that they like the first part.
The Nightman.
But it sounds like a song where a man breaks into your house and rapes you.
What, dude? Where are you getting that from?
He can't believe. What are you getting that from?
It might seem wrong, but it's just right. It's just two men sharing
That's a good voice.
each other. It's just two men like loving brothers, one on top and one on bottom, one inside.
We have to keep talking over it, otherwise I can't play this. So keep doing commentary.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Passionate shout, it's the Nightman.
It's the Nightman. So they're confused, but he's really getting into it. He is a really good singer. And pin me down with your strong hands, and I become the night. The passionate Nightman. Wait, so the rule is you can't play stuff unless you talk over it? Like, how do they count seconds? Like, they've gone 4 seconds without talking. Let's charge them.
You have to be commenting on it so that you're doing commentary, or else it's
exactly.
Or else you're just.
But then,
playing.
how can you hear it?
It's a slippery slope, Nikki.
You could play 7 seconds and then comment on it
to the Supreme Court. I don't understand.
You want to take this to Neil Gorsuch?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
Who's that?
He's one of the judges.
Nice.
Do you think you can name all the justices? I
can't name the one you just gave me. I can't repeat the name you just said.
Quite
Neil
a few
Gorsuch? No, I know
controversial
that
ones.
he's a name I've seen on crossword puzzles, and I'm always like, what's his name again? But now I'm gonna remember it because I'm gonna remember it's the same as the guy who walked on the moon. Buzz.
Yes, Buzz Gorsuch.
Buzz Aldrin. Buzz Gorsuch. That's what I'm gonna fill in the next crossword puzzle. Will be like, it's right. Everything on this puzzle's right. Sometimes, so often I convince myself that the New York Times crossword puzzle there's an error on it.
Yeah, like they made the mistake.
I'm right, and they've made a mistake for the first time in the history of this thing. All right, we got to go to break. We'll talk about something else when we get back. I think I have a plan. All right, we'll be right back. All right, so check me out on those shows that already happened, and then also watch me next week in LA, where we're doing 1 episode next week, so just gear up for that. And also come see me on tour. I mean, where am I coming up next? Sacramento, San Francisco,
San Diego.
San Diego. Okay, I see a pattern. So come Orlando. We should add it.
We already were there.
I can't think of
Santiago,
Idaho. I'm going there for the murder scene to see it. I'm adding it to my list. I used to be a Columbine head, but I'm now an Idaho murders head. I would want to drive by where that happened. I'm a little morbidly curious.
I'm sure we shall. It's probably on the routing.
I think it's a bad thing to do. Don't do that because let them heal. But 20 years later, they're not even notice. Trust me, I go to Columbine 5 times a year. No one cares. No one notices. Yeah, don't drive by now.
I like how driving by prohibits their healing.
No, it does, because if they get lots of crowds and people taking pictures and doing TikTok dances
Nikki,
outside,
there's no influencers in Idaho being like,
no, they are.
murder.
People go.
Really?
Yes, they go there.
How
people
many
go
do
to
you
crime
think?
scenes because people are like Taylor McGraw. Taylor McGraw has sifted through dense brush.
I
to
thought
go
she was like niche.
to John Bonet's old stomping grounds. Like
She's there now.
She's definitely gone to John Bonet's house. And I have too. I was in Boulder and went there my freshman year. But yeah, so go see me in those places is I think was the point of that.
So you're performing at John Bonet's house?
What if I did?
Actually, yes. And she'll be in Denver.
I will be in Denver.
30th and 31st.
Which I call the house of Jean Bonnet. Yeah, Jean Bonnet's town. It's also
I feel like we're drunk today a little, all of us.
We got
That's
the
so fun.
sunglasses.
I'm into it.
Do your
Yeah, it is
tour.
sunglasses. It makes you feel like freer, I think.
No one can judge us now because they can't see
I
into
wonder
our
if I'm
souls.
going to have time for Columbine when I go there on the 30th. I might go there on New Year's Eve. That might be a thing I do because that will have made it. Well, I didn't go this year to Columbine, unfortunately, but I try to get there. I try to winter there. I try to get there at least once a year. I try to get to Columbine.
Littleton. Is it?
You got to do your tour.
Colorado?
Do your tour
Littleton
of all the murder houses in America, and then your tour could be called "Now Who's Killing" or something like that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And then
What about the Delphi?
Delphi is going to be hard. We got to do it on a wood bridge about a mile into a very small Indiana town.
Yeah.
That's going to be like my Chappelle's shows.
Yeah.
You know how he does them in the middle of nowhere in Ohio? Mine's going to be
Did you
on
hear
the bridge
Nikki
where those
Glaser
girls were murdered.
Gilgo
It's going to be at the
Beach.
crime scene. Oh, Gilgo Beach?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one. I'm not into that one yet.
Because
but
you don't like the beach.
Yeah, that's what if that is
a
it?
marsh.
I'm like, ugh, God, I'd have to walk down to a beach with all that sand, which is just hard
Being out
dirt.
in the sun.
All right. Well, let's get to an old segment we haven't done in fucking forever. Fanthrax. Thank you, Avi. All right. This is where we listen to your voicemails. I actually have a couple letters too that people wrote me that I might read. This weekend, Besties gave me some stuff, so it was nice. I forget the one that I was going to read. It might be in the other room. But anyway, let's listen to the voicemails you have lined up.
Okay. Here's one who's actually responding to an intrusive thought episode.
Oh,
plug.
yeah, hell yeah.
People are going to wonder, how do I listen to that? Well, you got to sign up for Diamond Players.
Topic
Diamond
a little
Players
bit, but
Okay.
it's okay.
It's okay.
Nikki,
Yeah.
I really don't want you to die of cancer just from using shitty deodorant. So here's the thing that I do, because I'm autistic, I don't like smells, I just want to be like as natural as possible, and I don't want anything to touch me, whatever.
Yeah.
Respect.
I use the salt deodorant, which you were talking about, like, sweat doesn't smell bad. Like, I sweat a lot. I live in Florida, but I don't smell because I use the salt deodorant, and the bacteria can't live in the salt, so you just rub a shitload of salt on your armpits, and then you never smell, and you sweat all day, and it's perfectly fine. So, please stop using Secret. It's bad.
But it says no aluminum.
Maybe try salt if you want to. I love you.
Tell me a brand.
Wait, just salt?
Pure
salt.
Celtics.
It's got to be a brand.
No, I think it's salt, but I wonder if...
No, she's talking about literal salt. That's too much.
How does it stay on?
Work.
Yeah, rub
I
it in
guess
there.
sea salt.
I guess that's a good, you know what? This is a good hack if you've forgotten deodorant.
Oh yeah. If you forgot deodorant, you're at a restaurant, you get a salt packet, you put it underneath your armpit and you don't smell.
I'm just wondering how to apply, but she's not wrong, and I like the idea, but why? This is where I go, why isn't this invented yet? If it's as simple as salt, why hasn't someone made salt deodorant? Like, why is that not a thing? And I'm not saying that this doesn't work, because a lot of times it's like, why didn't you put wheels on luggage 50 years before you did?
I know why.
Like, sometimes it's right in front of you.
Because salt is cheap, and it doesn't, like the profit doesn't warrant making the product.
I'd pay $8 for someone to make salt in a way that I could rub it on my pits. You know, like, I would pay for someone to figure out how to put it together.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you're probably right. It comes down to money always. So you're right. It either doesn't work or it does, and it doesn't make anyone money.
Yeah, since
putting
or
cancer
it exists.
in pits
I mean, there are.
Well, that's why I was thinking there might be a brand.
Okay, there are brands. I'm looking it up.
Okay,
there are brands that are like, this is so well known that one of the Google questions is, does salt deodorant really work?
Okay.
Yeah.
See, all right. Well, perfect. It's Morton's. What kind of salt?
Well, there's one called Salt and Stone, but
Mrs. Dash.
They don't have salt in it. It's actually like seaweed extract is their key ingredient. They have probiotics, hyaluronic acid, which is just a molecule.
It's really such a bummer that humans smell this bad.
Yeah.
Like, why can't this be a thing? It's so funny that has not been eradicated.
Don't you
through
think
evolution.
that animals?
Why are we smelling bad?
Predators would have eaten us in the wild because they could smell us so readily, or is it that our stench is so horrific that like a lion would be like, "I'm not going near that shit." Like what?
Yeah, it could smell off predators, or
Are we smelling them off? Or are we attracting them?
Well, it's attractive sometimes.
I feel bad for whoever
to have sex the other day because Matt forgot his deodorant in Prior Lake.
Oh.
And I was like, he's like, I'm worried. I forgot it. Do you have any? I'm like, I don't. But why don't you just borrow Nikki's? You guys have swapped each other's a few times.
I actually forgot mine and I had to use Chris's, but we would have done a threesome.
But I kind of was into it
that way.
I was like, you smell fine. I'm into this.
Yeah, I like the way.
And then I said,
my man
I don't want other women to smell you tonight because what if they're attracted to this? I actually got possessive over his BO.
What? Anya. Wait, other women would smell him and like then they wouldn't be able to help themselves?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's
panty
like,
dropper.
Damn. I guess I don't think that. I think Chris smells great, but I'm like, well, I'm a different girl, so I don't care if girls want to fuck my boyfriend. I like hope they do. So that would actually turn me on. That I would be like, get out there, meet some ladies, have them smell you, have girls want to fuck you. But
no,
so
it
I'm
was
the opposite.
kind of hot.
But yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah,
I got a little excited about my jealousy. I have to have it in tiny doses.
Yes, I got. I made Chris make out with me the other night because we were waiting for the security guard to come up to the hotel room and we were in the hallway just like waiting and it was like we were like ready to go and like with our bags and he was like, so what do you want to do? And I was just like, we should just like make out. And he was like, okay. And I was like, we never make it. We were laughing so hard because we never
the
just
line Nikki used on their first date.
Yeah, no, that's what I used to say to people, to you guys. I didn't with Chris though, but it's my new line.
Good move.
We should make out. Why don't we make out? Just say it like casually.
Yeah.
It really has worked before with guys, but not Chris. He made the first move, but now I'm making moves. And we just like made out, but I couldn't stop laughing. And I think he was almost offended because I was laughing so hard because we never just like stand and make out. Like usually there's like things are intense if we're like tongues are in each other's mouths.
Yeah.
How long did it last?
So good.
Literally like a second and a half, like 2 seconds of just like blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, what are we doing? This is pornographic.
That's amazing.
It felt like fucking. Like that's probably why it was uncomfortable. It was making me laugh because it was like, this is the only something we do when we do that. Like we can't do this in the hallway. Someone could see us.
Yeah, I'm like,
I love that you had to do it in front of the security guard.
No, he wasn't there yet.
Kidding.
Oh my God, that's insane. I would never do that to anyone.
You're like,
I hate
sir,
when people
hold
are like,
on.
look at how hot my relationship is. It's so weird. Final thought. Let's get to the last Fanthrax.
This is someone who wants some advice.
Hi, Nikki, Noah, Brian, and Anya. I love the podcast.
Thanks.
Long-time listener, Nikki. And sending love from Canada.
Hello.
Also, come to Toronto, please, soon.
I'm coming.
My question, though, is...
Rama.
I guess just for your opinion and kind of perspective. I'm 27. I'm single. A lot of my friends are all kind of in relationships, getting married, and I honestly haven't really been in like a serious, real relationship at this point. And just sort of at a weird point where I feel like I'm not young anymore, but I'm not old yet. And I guess I'm just curious what you guys would give, like in terms of advice to yourselves when you were 27 and maybe weren't at the place you wanted to be in life. What advice would you give to a 27-year-old version of yourself about dating and just a good perspective for the future? So that was really awkward to record. Love you guys. And please come to Canada. Please come to Toronto.
I'll see you there at Rama. I loved this call. First of all,
that's an
anyone would be
amazing
so happy to date this person.
Yeah.
You just sound like so smart and cool and like emotionally
intelligent.
I bet you're thinking about this.
Like, oh my God, what a fucking winner. So the good news is like when you get into a relationship, it's going to be great. Like you're so ready for one and you're like, so like someone's so lucky to find you. So that's the good news.
The girl that you're going to marry is not ready for you yet. They're going to catch up. Or guy, I'm sorry.
I don't think they specified.
They didn't specify. I'm sorry. I apologize. This person is going to catch up to you. You're there. It sounds like you're there.
That's really good.
Or they're just going to find someone that's like, it's just going to make sense right away. Like, I think that I feel frustrated in many ways in my life in terms of like, I'm stunted in the terms of like growth where I would picture myself. Like I was just playing guitar earlier today and I was like, I'm so mad I'm not further ahead at this. Like, I'm so mad I'm not further ahead at singing and all these things. Like, why did I start so fucking late? But the truth is, like, you just start when you start. And it's like, I used to feel that way about sex. Like, I didn't have sex till I was 21. That felt so late. I didn't have a boyfriend till I was 24. I didn't have, like, a real boyfriend like real one that wasn't long distance or just totally drunk till I was 28 or 9. I think 9 until I met Chris, which was my first like sober, normal relationship. Guy liked me as much as I liked him. So like there is, I relate to feeling like late to things, but I liked that you were aware that you aren't old because you're not, because 27 is so fucking young. Just trust me. Like no one expects you to know what you're supposed to do right now. Yep. Like anyone who's older than you looks at a 27-year-old and is like, don't feel like you should have your life figured out right now. Like at all. It's totally, you have so much time. And I wouldn't say that if I didn't think that.
When you turn 35, you're going to be like, holy shit, 27 was so young.
Yeah, 36 is where maybe you go like, okay, I'm like, I make some, like have some reckoning with yourself of like, okay, I got to like really put the gas to the pedal.
Be 27
But
again.
now is like not 27. And that's not to say if you're 36 listening and being like, well, I relate to this guy and I'm 36. So like, what do I do? Yeah, gas to the pedal. If you want to achieve your dreams, fucking figure it out. Like, yeah, you are getting up there. But 27, have fun. Like, let yourself off the hook a little bit.
Yes.
In general.
When I was 27,
advice.
I had just moved back in with my dad. I was living in my dad's house on Long Island when I was 27.
Yes, and now you're married happily to the love of your life.
I'm married happily.
And you're how old?
I'm 35.
See, look how quickly things can turn around like that.
Honestly, 27 was the beginning of my life.
Single.
I moved out of my parents' house at like almost 26. So also the other thing I have to tell you is right in this moment, you are exactly where you need to be. Everything you want is unfolding for you. Even if it doesn't feel like it, it totally is. Like you are exactly where you need to be right now.
That goes
if I could give myself any advice at 27, it would be like, wear sunscreen, read Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Smoking.
Yeah.
Yes, dating someone 13 years older than you is weird.
Wear it like a shirt.
There is a power dynamic that is at play. Age is not just a number, but these are just... But also, like, you're fine,
very
girl.
Specific things, for you at that age. But no, that makes sense. Like,
this guy should do all those things. I mean, you gotta.
In other words, like, you can be really fucking up right now, and it'll be totally fine.
You can still course correct, but if you are 37, you gotta make desperate moves. And that is really so true.
What are you doing? Just kidding.
That's
my
true,
music
though.
career started then.
But
it is true.
You made the move though. When you were in your late 30s, you're like, I want to be a musician. I'm starting my music career. I'm doing it. And if you
27 is the most exciting time.
Yeah.
If you're 37,
but I don't want to discourage anyone who's 40 something and is like, I haven't done anything. Like,
well,
it's time to do it.
You have to make the assessment then.
You're gonna die. But just like do your best. Make peace with make peace with that. You're not gonna be as good as you want to be, or you might not have the best relationship. Like, but you're gonna have something. Like, you deserve a relationship. You don't get to opt out of these things that everyone else does, where you're like, I'm different. I'm gonna be alone forever. Okay, well maybe that's the case because of just circumstances. And I'm not saying that the caller talked like this. There are people in my life that I've heard talk like this, where it's just like, I'm not going to have this. I don't get to go on dates. I'm not the type of person that will do this kind of thing. And I hear it on Reddit a lot, and just people in depressive episodes. And I've talked like this before about like just absolutes about stuff. And the truth is, like, you're not special enough to like not do those things. Like, I'm never gonna be able to like get on an airplane. Like, some people have fears like that. Like, it's you. If people do this all the time, you can do it too. It's not that hard.
Like, you can't
stop making it so hard in your head.
That's going to be your future. Like, maybe that's you right now, but like, it could change.
Yeah.
You can't predict it.
I used to be terrified of sex and thinking, I will never be able to have it. It is too weird. I cannot imagine ever having sex. I was terrified of the idea of it late in life. And then I was like drinking. I was scared of intimacy. I was like, I used to tell my friends, I can't picture myself making out with someone. In high school, I was like, I'm never going to kiss someone because I cannot picture it. It's just not something I do. I'm like different. Like, it's easy for you guys. There's no part of me that wants to put my lips on someone. And I would freak out about it. I'd be like, it's just not for me, you know? And then almost you like put... Hell yeah. Now I literally only do it when I'm being penetrated, as we've just learned. So I can only let it in some ways. But I always used to like pride myself on like, or I would have to convince myself I was different. Like, I have this phobia. I have this weirdness, so that I wouldn't do the things I was scared to do. So I would venture to think that this person is a little scared of a relationship, and that's okay because they are scary. And like, you might really want one, but there's a part of you that might also be very scared because you seem so great. It shouldn't seem that you could be in a relationship if you wanted to be. So I would say push yourself to get on apps and go on dates and do things that you're terrified of doing and thinking like, I can't do that. I have, social anxiety or whatever it is. Like, don't make excuses. Just do the things other people do when they want to date. And if you want to find someone, you gotta get on the apps.
Low pressure.
I would think
there's no
or
pressure.
you have to go up to talk to people in public, which I don't think you're gonna do anytime soon. So go on the apps. You're not different. Not that this person said that they don't want to do that stuff.
No.
He's comparing himself with his peers, and he's like, everybody's in a relationship, and I'm not. What's
wrong with him?
What the fuck?
Yeah, you haven't found anyone good enough yet. I mean, honestly, that's kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah,
when
my point of view is more laissez-faire. It's like, you're doing nothing wrong. Everything will transpire. You know what? Make a list. Make a list of how you want to feel in a relationship. What is that person like? How do they make you feel? How do you feel
manifestation thing is
I did that. I wrote down when I was going on my year of dating, I wrote down a list of everything I would want in a girl. And then
you were on Jimmy Fallon on Friday.
Exactly. So it got the wires got crossed, and now Nikki's got a girl who's got all those things, and I'm on Jimmy Fallon. No,
that's so true.
I wrote it all down, and all those things came true. All those things came true.
I love that.
Yeah.
I remember
the other thing that happens is you start acting like the person you want to be, and you didn't even realize it. Like I was like 27. And I was dating somebody, he was much older than me. I was like, why am I not actualized in my career? Like, I'm just like his girlfriend. Everyone refers to me as like his girlfriend. I'm not my own person.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I started being like, I want to play music. He's a musician. Oh, I didn't know I wanted to play music. So I started writing songs. I started getting open mics. I started developing that. Like, just think about how you want to feel and how you see your life.
Yes, and force yourself to do things that are uncomfortable.
And also,
because if you want a relationship, which I used to want one too, and couldn't get one, it was so like, woe is me. Like, what's wrong with me? No one likes me. Like, there were moments where I would think like, maybe I'm maybe I'm not a catch, but I guarantee you, to the caller, you're a fucking catch because you sound like amazing. Like, we all just fell in love with you, and so
in 5 seconds.
The only reason you don't have someone is because you're not trying. Like you're in your own way, because there's no reason you shouldn't, because you seem amazing. Like that. So when I finally realized that about myself, like I'm in my own way. It's not that hard to get a boyfriend. Like, my whole story was like, I can't get a boyfriend because I'm choosy and because I'm waiting for someone who like deserves me.
That's fine.
And that's okay.
That's better.
That's what was happening. It wasn't that I was like broken in some way. I just I wasn't willing to do the things I was scared to do. Unless it was like really worth it. And that was just like my journey. But some people just date a lot, and that's cool too.
Like, we want to know what happens.
Yeah,
like,
I want to know what happens.
When I was single and sad and lonely, one piece of advice that I forgot who told me, it was like a therapist or a friend or something, but they said, most people that have...
Or a Nikki quote.
This was a Nikki quote. Most people...
Yeah, right. It was a cogent piece of information, so it definitely wasn't a Nikki quote.
Well, the advice was, sometimes people go to cars. And I was like, what? And that was the advice. But Nikki Glaser does. Yeah. And so someone told me that, and I was like,
That's
okay.
such a bot sentence.
Yeah. No, but someone told me that the vast majority of people in modern human existence have gotten married. So what makes you think that you're so special that you're going to be not the norm?
Yes. What makes you think you're so special that you're going to die in a plane crash?
Yeah.
Like what? I'm serious. Like, why do you think you're so like unique that it's going to happen to you?
It just happens
it's not. But
this is something that happens to most people.
It's you flip it. Yeah. Yes, that's true. Oh, okay, it's the opposite.
Yeah, most people get married.
We gotta go. I have to go get on a plane actually. So I can make that joke because I'm about to die in a plane crash. Wouldn't it be crazy if it happened? This would be the most watched video of all time, and you're welcome, iHeart, that I died in that plane crash. Because this is insane that I predicted it.
Oh my God, stop.
Okay, plug everything. Plug everything.
Happens.
I don't like it.
But if it did, it would be wild.
Quick, Anya,
and don't forget to tune into Fallon.
Yeah, FBoy Island coming on October 16th.
Well, I didn't make it to any of my appearances.
That would be funny.
Oh, that's right.
But do watch FBoy Island. It's my what's it called? My song.
Your
swan song.
No, actually, my swan song is going to be like, I See Your Voice, like a TV show that I did. Like I taped like 2 years ago that they're just sitting on. That's going to be the last thing. Okay, well, it was a great career. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm totally kidding. I'm not going to die in a plane crash, but I will say I'm working on a joke about one. where I say that every time there is like turbulence and I think I'm gonna die, I'm just like, oh, I gotta log on to like the Boingo Wi-Fi. Like I'm kind of like, I gotta say my goodbyes. Like I start thinking about like, what's my old password? Then I gotta like reset it. So like I already start thinking like clerically about saying my goodbyes, and I'm like, this is so annoying. I have to die right now. So anyway, that's my joke. Have a good weekend and fly safe. And that's my joke. I'll see you in Sacramento. Don't be good and just make light of things you're terrified of.